Alright, so today what we're going to be looking at is something that I truly love a lot. It's called Git. Git was actually developed by the same guy who developed what you're looking at now, Linux. Linus Torvald, if I'm pronouncing his name right, but brilliant guy, brilliant computer engineer, computer scientist. But yeah, he made the Linux kernel, and he also made Git. Git is a awesome language that programmers use to track the history of certain code, and also allows multiple teams to work on code simultaneously. So he pretty much changed the world through what I'm about to show you today. So we're gonna open Chrome, and Chrome is right here. And we're going to go to GitHub. I have it as a bookmark here, but we're going to type in here github.com. As you can see, I already have a profile. I am going to assume that you can make a profile on your own. And yeah, so basically, obviously, mine's a little full because, you know, it's been active for a while. So up here, you see the different things that you're part of. Right here, so I'm part of an organization called What to Do, a coding boot camp, so on and so forth. And up here to the right, this is repositories that you contribute to. So I contribute to these, and these are my private ones. I shouldn't say private because you yourself could actually look at all of these yourself. Like you could hit Ajax and go in here. They're not private, they're public. But these are all mine to me, that I'm the only one that can actually work with these unless I say that you can. So what we're going to do is make a new repository today. Let me actually make this a little bigger just to make sure that we can see it. So what we're going to do is, see this very big button? I think this has something to do with what we need. So we're going to click this. It's going to take us to a new page. Okay, so we're going to create a new repository. So the owner, which is me, we're going to make that. And so we're going to make one called test, right? And it's going to give you this little check mark to make sure that everything's fine. Like it will say like, hey, is it going to be all right? And look, they even gave you little example ones. And always click this button, initialize README, and there you go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create the repository. Okay, so now this is now our repository. This is what we're going to be working from the next few minutes. But before we look at this, what we're going to do is we're going to go back, because obviously I can't show you much here because it's really boring because nothing's happened yet. So I'm going to go to one that's, we'll go to this one. This is actually where the code that you find that we do. Oh, that's me, by the way. Yeah, not the most flattering picture, but I'll take it. So all the code that I do in class for you guys is actually right here. So what you can see the number of commits, the number of times that the code has changed, and who's added to. There's Ollie, the other guy who helps. Wonderful human being. I am so happy to be working with him. He is awesome. All the commits that we've done, the name of them, what took place. This is where you could put issues where you found a problem wrong with the code. You can put an issue out to have us see it. This is where people can do pull requests to see if they can check it out. Projects, which was added very recently, is kind of like Trello, if you're familiar with that. I have not worked with Wiki a lot, so I'm not going to talk about that. Pulse is pretty much, it tells you everything that's happened in a certain amount of time. See, 1 week. And graphs. Graphs are really cool. Shows you who's contributed, the traffic, so on and so forth, the commits, the code frequency, a lot of stuff. And if you actually click this button right here, it actually shows you a really cool timeline right here of like who's committed and stuff like that. Very cool. So we're going to go back to test, because that's obviously what we're working with. Probably just go back. Where are you? Oh, I could just go in there. Okay, well, this works. Alright, so here we are with test. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually get this on our local machine. So this is in GitHub, right? This is a GitHub is like a graphical user interface for this code, so it lives up here and we can see what's going on. So this is not on our local machine. Meaning if I go over here to files, I will never find the folder test here that's related to this, I should say, because it only exists here. We need to bring this stuff down to our local machine, and then this is what this is button's for, git clone. You should absolutely set up an SSH key because that will save you so much time. If you use this, you'll have to sign in on your terminal all the time, and it's very frustrating sometimes. So look up how to set an SSH key. So you just type in git hub SS key, and literally, I think I just did this a few minutes ago. Yeah, literally they'll walk you step by step through what you need to do. Obviously, I can't do that because you'll see my key and then you would have access to my machine. So, yeah. So basically, we're just going to copy this. So just hit Control-C, or you can use this copy to clipboard button. I'm just going to do Control-C right now, and you're going to open the powerful terminal. Okay? Now, we're going to do this in our root. Now, take a look. Nothing's here is called test. So what we're going to do is use the command called git clone. So that's going to clone this repository to our local machine. So I'm going to hit Git Control V, like that. I'm sorry, I screwed up. I'm going to hit Control Shift V here, hit Enter. Now it's going to clone. You see that? It's counting 3 objects because there's 3 objects in here. It's going to download them, and if I hit LS, take a look there. I have test. Isn't that cool? So now this is, I can be able to access this on my local machine. So here's the GUI of the folder. So you can check I have test right there. So this allows me to take what's in GitHub that I want to work with. So say I want to put a file in here. So I'm going to navigate, whoop, not on that one. I'm going to navigate to the files I showed you in the last one. Now I'm going to use autocomplete. I don't have anything with T, I don't believe, so it should, yep. And once again, just the README file. So let's say I want to make a file. So I'm going to call this file 1, file 2, and file 3. Hit enter, hit LS, look what I've made, all 3 of these. And if I open this, bam, there they are right there waiting for me. I don't know if you can see this, but if you can actually get closer to these, they actually, yeah, I'll tell you about that later. But anyway, so there they are, all waiting for me. Now, if I go back to my Chrome and I reload the page, wait a second, I still only have the README here. I don't have these 3 files that I just made. That's because those 3 files only exist on your local machine. So it doesn't exist up here. So if you wanted it to exist up here, what you're going to want to do is you need to push these to the repository up here. Now, if you're the owner of the repository, this is really easy to do. If you're not, then you need to make sure that you have the owner's permission to do that, and then the owner will do a pull, or will initiate a pull request to work with it. But more on that later. So we're going to go back to our terminal. So git is really the word that you're going to use for all commands here. This tells the terminal, hey, do git command this. There's a command that is super powerful that's called status. This is the doctor, if you will. This shows you what's going on. That does not help that I accidentally typed that wrong. There you go. I don't know what happened there. I just screwed something up. Alright, hold on. Let me type this again. There we go. So git status is going to show you what's going on. Notice your branch is up to date with origin master. Origin master is in the repo here. but there's untracked files. So these files have not been added to the commit that you want to push up. So we have nothing else to commit but these untracked files. So what we want to do is we want to tell the computer, hey, I want to commit these files. I want these files to get staged to be committed to the master. So what you want to do is you want to do a git add. Now you can do many things here. You can do file 1 like this, and then file 2, blah, so file 3, and then you can hit enter and that will do what we want. The fastest way to do this is the asterisk or the dot. Both will do the same thing. The asterisk basically say add everything that's been changed. But say hypothetically your boss is breathing down your neck and he wants all these 3 files, but you've only finished 2 and you want to stage just 2, then that's when you want to actually come over here and type out the ones that you actually want to stage. And those are the ones that will be changed and be pushed into the master. So to show that, I'm just going to add these 2 here. So if I hit status again, notice these are green, red. So now these are changes to be committed. So think about it. These are up to swing, if you will. These are now in the chamber. They're loaded, ready to go to be fired up to here. So now what we need to do is called a git commit. Basically, it's going to say, hey, I'm ready to commit these changes. I'm ready to do this. And the command that you're going to use is git commit -m. -m, once again, this dash right here is called a flag, so I'm saying use the command called m, which is message. And this is where you leave a little message for the person that's going to be reviewing your code of what you've done. I have done nothing but 2 text files. So once again, this should be something that's intuitive. You should read it out. Obviously, I put some humor in here. You're going to hit this. Now it's going to say, hey, okay, so this is the commit. I've done nothing. 2 files changed, and I'm ready to add this. Notice the 3rd file's not in there. So this is where I'm going to do git push. Enter your name. That shouldn't be here. I don't know what's going on. I don't think my SH key is going to have to working. I'll have to look into that later. So now we have pushed these up. You look at status, look. There's nothing but this one here. Now if we go back here and reload, take a look at that. We have both of the files up here. Now this is in here. This is what's in your repo. So these are just simple commands of how to work with files like this. And if you go over here, see, you can actually see the change that you made. You started with here, the initial comment, so you initialized it here and then you pushed it here. So you added those files. So these files are now here. So what I'm going to show you, what am I going to show you? So then we can work with this one now. What we can do is, once again, we can open our nano hey you there standing in the rain. I'm going to stage these to be saved, so yes and yes. So now you can use a command called cat, which will open up the file for you. See? So cat will open up any type of text file or something like that and show you on the command line. So now if I hit status again, look at that, untracked files, because now I've changed something. So now I want to do it all over again, and I'm going to show you a faster way to do this. Commit -a -message parentheses. So this is saying all files and then the message. I have finished file 3. There you go. We're going to get a git push. and it's pushed it up. It did not push it up. Huh, that flag did not work. I'll have to look into that. That flag should have worked. I don't know why. Actually, once again, we can use our tab because I've already wrote it out. So there we go. We can do that. And then what we're ready to do is a git push again. All right, now it's pushed up. So we're going to open this file. You're going to see text 3, and if I open this, look at that. That's what I have right there. So yeah, that's a simple introduction to Git.